Hello all, we're almost done. We're on week 9, May 26th through 27th. We had a busy video week, and this week will be less requirements, but you will start your project. So let's jump into it. Your science fact is about a parasite. Since we talked about symbiosis last week, this is actually another one of my favorite parasites, the tongue-eating sea louse. It's quite graphic, but this creature will actually go into a fish, eat its tongue, and then anchor itself where the tongue was and act like the tongue for the fish for the rest of its life, eating scraps from that fish. And will continue to feed on the fish that way. A lot of fishermen can find fish with these parasites still attached and alive in them when they pull larger fish out of the water. So it's a very fascinating parasite. It keeps its host alive, but gets a free meal and acts like a tongue. So expectations for this week are as follows. There is a brief population size lecture. It's about 6 minutes long, just to talk about population density in an ecological environment and how it is arranged and how things can affect it. Then we're going to jump into something else that can affect populations and organisms, and that's 2 new cycles you've briefly learned about but probably haven't learned about in detail, and that's the nitrogen and phosphorus cycle. And there's a crash course ed puzzle you're going to be completing on that. The third and last video is an Amoeba Sisters video on succession, because this week we are going from ecological interactions to disturbances and disasters that can affect an ecosystem. So succession is one of those type of disturbances and how life can come back from that. And that takes us to our ecological disturbance project. If you go on Moodle under week 9, you're going to find these different assignments. You're also going to see this natural disaster newscast along with the disaster assignments. This will be your last project. It will be due on June 4th by 11:59 p.m. It's a short little video cast on you reporting about a natural disaster in history. I've already created assignments for this, so if you click on the disaster assignments, it'll tell you what your topic is. If you have problems with it, if you're struggling with it, let me know. If you click on the newscast itself, it'll give you the instructions for it and what questions you need to be answering to fulfill that. You'll need to do a Google Doc or PowerPoint for this, and it will need to be a few minutes long recording. You can use the same recording software you did before. If you click on that natural disaster newscast link, a document will pop up. Once you click on that document, it should come up Environmental Disturbance Newscast. So basically, the idea of this assignment is you're going to act as a reporter investigating an environmental disturbance. You'll be giving a 2-minute newscast concerning the disturbance. You cannot use Wikipedia.coms or other general forum sites. You're going to need to answer the following questions, which will be in that document as well. And you're going to create a PowerPoint or Google Slides with 1 slide for each of the above questions. And what you need to include in your PowerPoint, including title, map where it happened, pictures of those things. As I stated, your recording must be at least 2 minutes long. You can use the same software as before, and this needs to be by June 4th at the latest. And there's a rubric along with it just to let you know how I'm going to be looking at this. As stated before, the assignments are right underneath, so if you click on that, it should bring up an Excel sheet, and you can find on it your name and your assignment beside that. If you have any trouble finding information or not being able to fulfill certain parts of the requirements, let me know. Some of the topics are a little tricky, but you should be able to get a majority of the information you need for this newscast. All right, if there are any questions, let me know.